Hello again everyone, and welcome to the second video that I'm making about queer media. And it's a kind of a catch-all term that, I don't know, I may well end up inserting people who aren't necessarily queer or fit under that umbrella or want to be defined as such, but I'm just calling it that. I'm claiming these things. What can I say? Actually, funny story. So every now and again, especially recently when I've started making these videos, I have a thought of something, I see something or I experience something, and I'm like, yes, I need to talk about this. I need to make a video about this. I need to just get my thoughts somewhere because, god damn, god damn. And I was listening to music as I often do on my way to work, and I encountered a song by somebody, and it just absolutely blew me away, devastated me, absolutely. I think maybe this series is going to be about the stuff that makes me cry. I don't know, maybe that's what it's going to be. The stuff that makes Andy cry, that's what this series will be called. Yeah, I ended up tearing up, crying basically on the way to work. And just as an aside, since I've started hormonal therapy, I am a lot more easily tearful, let's say, and I just want to put it out there that this isn't a bad thing. I quite like this. It's very cathartic, and it's sadness, but it's joyful. It's so emotional. It's beautiful. I like it, but it might worry some people if they were to see me bawling everywhere. So if you see me out on the street and I've got tears in my eyes, don't worry too much about it. I'm probably fine. And so this particular artist, I just want to do a little bit of a backstory about why I want to make this video about them and the couple of songs that I want to especially highlight as well. So this artist, I remember I was quite into one of their songs a few years ago. Just one song I would listen to a few times. It was on my kind of regular repeat list. Not really the rest of the album, not really the rest of the tracks. I wasn't really so aware or so familiar with the rest of it. But I decided to come back to them because I was going over some of my past favourites. I encountered this song and I thought, hey, let's give some of the other tracks that they've made a bit of a chance. And one particular song just absolutely hit me hard. And I just thought, I've got to make a video about this track, this artist. This is just incredible. I can't not talk about this. As a result of this song, I went away and listened to a few more of their tracks. I did a bit of digging into this particular artist's backstory and history, and actually, it turns out, as luck would have it, not only, first of all, did they live and I guess grow up where I grew up in London, a place called Catford. They also came out as non-binary a couple of years ago. So I thought, hey, what a fantastic coincidence that is, that I want to talk about them in my queer media series of videos, and it turns out that they are non-binary. Pure luck, as it happens. But to be honest, it makes sense because the song that I'm going to talk about in a bit, for me, there are lines that just really resonate with my experience as a trans person. And it doesn't surprise me that maybe they've had similar kinds of experiences and thoughts as well. And it's just amazing to see sometimes your thoughts being spoken back to you, but in a more poetic way. So this artist, their name is Kae Tempest. And as I said, they came out as non-binary a couple of years ago. And I'll get into the tracks in a moment, but it's just interesting just thinking about where they're coming from. So they grew up in South London, similar to me. And I read an article, an interview with them in The Guardian, and reading what they have to say about being trans, coming out, the sense of responsibility that they feel as a spokesperson for trans people, just wanting to make sure that what they say is relevant and appropriate and not damaging. In fact, wanting to make sure that what they say reflects positively on trans people as a whole. I completely get that. I know a lot of the stuff that I say on my channel, I don't know, I've had 25 views perhaps on my most popular video at this point, but still I feel a sense of responsibility. I don't want to say something that could be taken out of context. I don't want to be a spokesperson for trans people, but undoubtedly people in my work, they may well see me, you know, I'll be the face of transgender people for a lot of people. And in a way, that's fine. But on the other hand, that does carry a lot of responsibility, and that does make me feel, well, I've got to make sure that I carry that weight responsibly. Anyway, so on to the tracks that I want to talk about today. And I'm going to talk about two in a little bit more detail, but overall, there's this wonderful mixture of feelings and emotions just running throughout every single one of their tracks. And just to highlight kind of the sort of music that they make, it's a kind of spoken word, not quite hip hop, not quite electronic. It's poetry set to music, basically. That's how I see it. And the way that they tell these stories or read these words, it's so powerful, it's so potent. I have to say, before making this video, I was listening to some more of their tracks and I was in tears. I was in absolute tears. This one track I was just listening to, called People's Faces, it had this amazing combination of like sadness and hope. Such hope, just looking into the faces of other people and finding hope for the future there. It was amazing. And by the way, I might end up tearing up whilst making this video. I'm going to read one of these out and I may well end up crying because it's just so beautiful. And yeah. Anyway, so that was People's Faces. I just heard it. I needed to hear it a few more times just to kind of get my head around the nuances of that track. But it was just so crystal clear how bitter Kae feels about society and about the indifference that people can have to each other and the uncaring nature of the world at large. But still, you can look into the faces of people maybe at a train station and just find their hope and humanity in just your common neighbors. And it's so true. We see online comments, we see in the news, we see in the media, groups of people. Of course, I'm looking at this through the lens of as a trans person, but I mean, so many different types of people can find enemies of themselves within the media. Young people, immigrants, gay people, black people, the list almost doesn't end. And it's easy to lose hope. It's easy to think that there's nothing that can be done about the future. The narrative is just finger pointing and enemy finding and trying to pitch one person against another. But then you take the moment to look at into the face of somebody around you and you don't see that hate. You don't see that. All you see is you just see the humanity, somebody trying to get through the day and live their lives. And there you can find some hope. They're just like you, just trying to get through it all. Yeah. Anyway, so the track that I was listening to the other day wasn't this track, by the way. It's fresh in my mind. I was just listening to it and it just really touched me. So the track that I was listening to on the way to work, and again, it just devastated me because there were some lines in there that just hit hard. And this track is called Hold Your Own. And very simple composition, very simple musical backing, but the words just hit hard. And again, it carries that kind of hope that you need to stick to your principles. If you can try at least for yourself to stay true to yourself, to find space, to find a place where you can just experience the now and not get too caught up in all of the other kinds of nonsense, the rushing onslaught of time, the need to constantly buy and consume. Look at where you are now. Take stock of your partner. Take stock of your life. Look at yourself and try to find genuine satisfaction in who you are. and hold that and keep that and stay true to yourself, even in the face of such unrelenting noise and chaos and mayhem. Just hold on to who you are. It's such a hopeful message. It really is. And I think these are the tracks that particularly resonate with me. And it's interesting that these two, I think the themes, for me at least, they seem quite parallel to each other. And that combination of hope tinged with elements of criticism against society and the world at large, looking for the humanity in individuals, looking for and advocating for you as the listener to notice yourself, notice the people around you, take hope in that, appreciate the things that you have. It's really quite touching. It really is. A third track that I just want to quickly mention, and this is the one that I was really into a few years ago, and this one, again, it's on a different album. It's called Tunnel Vision. And this one is a much more angry, more cynical take on the world, society. It's very, I think, compared to the other two tracks that I've talked about, this one is a lot less forgiving of people, a lot less forgiving of society. Tunnel Vision talks about how we're distant to each other. But I think the main message that I take from it is that we're lacking in compassion. We're lacking in really recognizing the change that we can make to the world, that we are allowing ourselves to become distracted by unnecessary things like getting your nails done or focusing on your wedding plans or something like this, when there's so much horror in the world that we should be angry about, that we should be railing against, that we should be protesting, that we should be trying to just stop. But instead of wanting to put pressure on those who can stop those things, we turn our faces away, and instead we are distracted by the inconsequential things of the world. And I really like that song. I think the music is much more interesting in terms of its musical composition than some of the other tracks. And I think at the time I really needed to hear that message as well, because this was obviously pre-coming out, and I think I did have a very negative, a very cynical view of the world. I struggle to find the hope that the other two songs that I've talked about, because how could I? I wasn't able to find myself in the world. All I saw was messages of hate. All I saw was messages of despair. So how could I possibly find happiness there? But since coming out, I think I have found that hope. You know, I've been surrounded by love. I've talked about the coming out journey in previous videos and how I found that to be so overwhelming in terms of the positivity and support that I've received. So how could I not find the hope in that? Anyway, I want to close off by reading out the lyrics to the track Hold Your Own, just to give you a sense of the power and the beauty in the words that Kae Tempest wrote and reads out in the song. And also I'll put the links to the songs, the YouTube links probably in the description below. And if I've managed to figure out how to edit things fancily, I'll also put some links somewhere in the video for you to go directly to it there as well. When time pulls lives apart, hold your own. When everything is fluid and when nothing can be known with any certainty, hold your own. Hold it till you feel it there, as dark and dense and wet as earth, as vast and bright and sweet as air. When all there is knowing that you feel what you are feeling, hold your own. Ask your hands to know the things they hold. I know the days are reeling past in such squealing blasts, but stop for breath and you will know it's yours. Swaying like an open door when storms are coming, hold. Time is an onslaught, love is a mission. We work for vocation until in remission. We wish we'd had patience and given more time to our children. Feel each decision that you make it. Hold it. Hold your own. Hold your lovers. Hold their hands. Hold their breasts in your hands like your hands were their bras. Hold their face in your palms like a prayer. Hold them all night. Feel them hold back. Don't hold back. Hold your own. Every pain, every grievance, every stab of shame, every day spent with a demon in your brain giving chase, hold it. Know the wolves that hunt you. In time, they will be the dogs that bring your slippers. Love them right, and you will feel them kiss you when they come to bite. Hot snuts digging out your cuddles with their bloody muzzles. Nothing you can buy will ever make you more whole. This whole thing thrives on us feeling always incomplete. And it is why we will search for happiness in whatever thing it is we crave in the moment. And it is why we can never find it there. It is why you will sit there with the lover that you fought for, in the car that you sweated years to buy, wearing the ring you dreamed of all your life, and some part of you will still be unsure that this is what you really want. Stop craving. Hold your own. But if you're satisfied with where you're at, with who you are, you won't need to buy new makeup or new outfits or new pots and pans to cook new exciting recipes for new exciting people to make yourself feel like the new exciting person you think you're supposed to be. Happiness, the brand, is not happiness. We are smarter than they think we are. They take us all for idiots, but that's their problem. When we behave like idiots, it becomes our problem. So hold your own. Breathe deep on a freezing beach. Taste the salt of friendship. Notice the movement of a stranger. Hold your own and let it be catching. So that's Hold Your Own. Check out Kae Tempest on YouTube and Spotify. And if you enjoyed this, please, if you haven't already, subscribe and write down below. Have you listened to their songs? Do you like them? Is this the first time you've heard about them? And are you now inspired to go check them out? I'd love to find out. So thanks a lot for stopping by. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.